Artificial intelligence. You hear about it everywhere, right? On one hand, it promises to solve, well, pretty much everything, from diseases to climate change. But on the other hand, you hear these warnings that it could be an existential threat. So, what's the real story? The truth, as always, is somewhere in the middle. It's this complex mix of incredible promise and some very real peril. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get on the same page about what AI actually is. Then, we'll dive into all the amazing things it can do. That's the promise. After that, we'll look at the flip side, the serious challenges. That's the peril. And finally, we'll talk about how we can move forward responsibly.
Okay, first things first. Let's tackle the basics. What exactly do we mean when we throw around the term artificial intelligence?
You know, the whole field of AI really boils down to this one huge, fascinating question. Can we actually build machines that think like us? I mean, really think, reason, and learn just like a human does? It's a question that's been kicking around in science and sci-fi for ages. So, if you strip it all away, AI is basically the science of getting machines to learn. But how does that even work? Well, a great way to think about it is like a little kid learning about the world. A child sees, hears, and touches things and learns from all that experience. AI does something kind of similar, but instead of experiences, it's fed massive, and I mean massive, amounts of data. It sifts through all that information, finds the patterns, and learns from them to make predictions or decisions. And just like a person, the more data it gets, the smarter it becomes. Now, this is super important to get right. Not all AI is created equal. The AI we have today, the stuff in your phone, your car, everywhere, that's what we call narrow AI or weak AI. It's absolutely brilliant, but only at one specific thing. Think of an AI that can beat the world champion at chess. It can't also drive a car or write a poem. Now, the AI you see in movies, right? The kind that's self-aware and can think like a human across the board, that's general AI. And let's be clear, that is still firmly in the realm of science fiction. We're not there yet.
Okay, so now that we know what we're dealing with, this narrow AI, let's look at how it's already woven into the fabric of our world. This is the exciting part. This is the promise.
Believe it or not, you're probably using AI dozens of times every single day, and you might not even realize it. It's like this invisible engine humming in the background of your life. I'm talking about Siri or Google Assistant on your phone, the spooky good recommendations you get on Amazon, the next show Netflix queues up for you, even the way Google Maps magically finds the fastest route, or how Gmail just knows what's spam. That's all AI at work.
But look, AI's impact is so much bigger than just making our lives more convenient. It's literally making a life or death difference in some really critical areas, and healthcare is a perfect example. Check this out. When it comes to analyzing things like MRIs or CT scans, AI algorithms are now spotting signs of diseases like cancer with over 95% accuracy. That's actually higher than the average for a human radiologist. Now, the point here isn't to replace doctors, not at all. It's about giving them this incredible co-pilot, a tool that helps them catch these things earlier and more accurately, which, of course, can save so many more lives. And this promise, it extends all the way to how we feed ourselves. There's this amazing field called precision farming, and AI is a total game changer there. So picture this. Drones and satellites fly over huge fields, snapping pictures. Then an AI analyzes those images, looking at everything from soil health to how much water the plants are getting. Based on that, it gives the farmer super precise advice. Hey, this corner needs a little more water, but that section over there is fine. The result? You're using less water, less fertilizer, and you're getting more food. It's just smarter farming.
It's even tackling one of the most annoying parts of modern life, traffic jams. In smart cities, AI systems can watch traffic flow in real time and adjust traffic light signals on the fly to keep things moving. It's incredible. The outcome is exactly what we all want. Less time staring at the bumper in front of us, less pollution from idling cars, and just a saner commute for everybody.
All right, so we've seen the incredible upside, the promise. It's truly amazing stuff. But you knew there was a but coming, right? With all this power comes some really significant risks. So now we have to turn the coin over and look at the other side. It's time to talk about the peril.
One of the first things people worry about, and for good reason, is jobs. Think about it. AI-powered automation is just incredibly good at doing routine, repetitive tasks. The kind of stuff that shows up in manufacturing, data entry, even a lot of customer service roles. This means millions of jobs in these sectors are at a very real risk of being automated away. It's a massive economic shift, and if we're not ready for it, it could cause some serious problems.
But the challenges here go way beyond just economics. This is where it gets really tricky. Remember how we said AI learns from data? Okay, so what happens when the data we feed it is biased? What if it reflects our own human biases and historical inequalities? Well, the AI doesn't know any better. It just learns those biases as fact. And suddenly, you have AI systems that might discriminate in hiring or deny someone a loan, not because of some evil plan, but just because it's repeating the skewed patterns it found in the data it was trained on.
And that leads us to maybe the most personal issue of all, privacy. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Your personal data is the fuel for AI, but who controls the engine? It's a simple question, but the answer is incredibly complicated and affects every single one of us.
And make no mistake, these aren't just theoretical threats anymore. We're talking about real-world stuff. AI-powered facial recognition makes mass surveillance easier than ever. Companies are building these incredibly detailed digital profiles on us to predict and even influence what we do. You could be denied a loan or a job based on your data profile without even knowing why. And then you have deepfakes, AI-generated fake videos that are so realistic they can be used to spread misinformation or completely destroy someone's reputation. Every one of these is a major challenge to our right to privacy.
So, if all that wasn't enough, there's also something that experts call the black box problem. It's a weird one. With some of the most complex AIs, we can put data in, say a patient's medical history, and we can see the decision that comes out, like deny insurance coverage. But the part in the middle, the why, is often a complete mystery. Even the engineers who built it can't always explain the exact logic the AI used to get from A to B.
And that creates a massive problem, doesn't it? If an AI denies you a loan or makes a critical medical decision and nobody can explain why, how can you appeal that? How can we make sure it was a fair decision? It really forces us to ask, can we and should we trust decisions that we fundamentally can't understand?
Okay, those are some really heavy questions, I know, but it's not all doom and gloom. These problems aren't impossible to solve, which brings us to our final section. How do we move forward? How do we chart a path that lets us get the good stuff from AI while managing the risks? It's all about something called responsible AI.
So what does that actually look like? Well, building a future where AI works for everyone isn't going to happen by accident. We need a plan. It means we have to build ethical guardrails, things like fairness and transparency, right into the code from the very beginning. It means we need strong laws, like India's Digital Personal Data Protection Act, to protect our privacy. It also means we have to get serious about retraining and reskilling our workforce for the jobs of the future. The whole goal is to make sure the incredible benefits of AI don't just go to a handful of people, but are shared by everyone.
So when you step back and look at the big picture, we're really at a major crossroads. Artificial intelligence is handing us the tools to solve some of our oldest and biggest problems, from curing diseases to tackling climate change. But at the same very time, it's posing these huge risks to our jobs, our privacy, and just our basic sense of what's fair. And that leaves us with the big question, the one we all have to think about. As we race forward with this incredible innovation, can we also find the wisdom to build the right safeguards? Can we really, truly strike that perfect balance between pushing progress and protecting people?